what's going on? You know who it is, you know what it is. Like I said before, man, I'm gonna keep pushing these videos on. I'm gonna try to get as much material out as possible because today I gotta start packing the shit, getting ready for my vacation and shit. But anyway, man, uh I wanted to do this video in regards to Stephen A. Smith, whatever the fuck his name is. Man, if y'all seen that movie Undercover Brother, man, I think Stephen A. Smith ate like a bucket and a half of General's fried chicken because he is just so far gone and so deep in the cooning to where you just shaking your head. This dude, I guess, did a so-called motivational speech, I think, at the University of Alabama, where he was basically telling lies, saying shit like racism doesn't exist, and the basic bullshit that a lot of these clowns that you would hear from white people are your basic coons like Larry Elder and those kind of guys. It doesn't exist. It's all in your head, but we all know different. You know, I don't even see how Stephen A. Smith could sit up there and give a speech which he knows a bold-faced fucking lie. I mean, not only did he anger people like me and other people, he angered Dr. Boyce Watkins, he angered Yvette Cornell. They all made videos addressing him just blatantly lying. You know, this dude was a victim of racism himself. You know, Michelle Beadle broke company policy, as Dr. Boyce Watkins expressed, by talking about a personal issue on Twitter and everything, which she should have been fired. But, you know, she wasn't. And she tried to get Stephen A. Smith fired. But instead, them getting on her about breaking company policy, they put Stephen A. Smith in the dress and bitched him up, made him apologize. And the funny part about it was he was telling the truth. See, ESPN then proven you can't be on that network and tell the truth, or you not gonna have no fucking job. You gonna do what the fuck they say, or they gonna toss you out on your ass. See, Stephen A. Smith got tossed on his ass before. When he had that show, quite frankly, you know, and ironically, I think one of the reasons why they took his show off the air is because he had people like Cornel West on the show. He had Dr. Boyce Watkins on the show. And if you know anything about those two guys, they're quote unquote considered controversial black men. To me, they're not, but they are to some people. They're considered a threat. They're considered uh the mythical word race baiters and all that type of shit. But I'll follow Dr. Boyce Watkins very closely. Y'all need to check out that guy's channel. He's the epitome of you can keep it real and get a whole bunch of subs without, cooning and lying and all that type of shit. But getting back to Stephen A. Smith, for him to sit up there and tell a bold faced lie that racism doesn't exist, that just shows you what kind of clown that he is. Shit, I experienced racism on my job. I done seen blatant cases of racism. I done experienced racism as far as the cops go. You know, racism as far as like, you know, when you drive by the other cities, like I say, that's, I guess you could say the Bay Area. Go to places like Clayton. Go to places like, if you in California, go to places like Oakley, Brentwood, and see how certain people look at you when you walk in the gas station or when you walk into a convenience store. Oh, you will see it. They'll give you that, what the fuck is he doing in here? You know, I didn't went to places where, you know, I got the police called on me for no reason. I didn't got stopped by the police for no reason, aka driving while black. How can you sit up there and say there's no racism when we a few years removed from Mel Gibson going on a tirade that his ex-girlfriend recorded. You know, the guy that played on with Paris, I can't remember his name, with Paris with Love, whatever, some movie with John Travolta. You know, allegedly he called a black stewardess a nigger. Then Shia LaBeouf or whatever the fuck he called himself, went into a Walgreens, you know, and started cussing out people, cussing out black women, calling them black bitches, saying that nothing ain't gonna happen to him because he famous and he rich, you know, stuff like that. Then not to mention the blatant double standards. You know, people talk about, you know, famous black people in domestic violence issues, but Sean Penn has had domestic violence issues. Emerald Hirsch, the dude that played in damn, what was that movie? He played in Lone Survivor with Mark Wahlberg. He played in the Alpha Dog. He allegedly grabbed a woman and threw her over a table and all that type of shit. So, you know, double standards exist, man. So for Stephen A. Smith to say that things is balanced and they fair, that's just not true. I could just talk about several incidents that go on, that's just going on in the world. So for him to be that fucking ignorant and lie like that, and then reports have came out that Corey Holcomb exposed Stephen A. Smith, where Corey Holcomb said that Stephen A. Smith admitted to him that they make him say that shit. So once again, how are we supposed to respect the guy, you know, that doesn't have respect for himself or his race? So Stephen A. Smith, he need to I don't know, man. He to the point to where you just probably just have to pray for that dude. Because to me, I think Stephen A. Smith is trying to stupefy black people. You know, yeah, you right. We don't have to sit on the back of the bus no more. And people not getting lynched. Well, at least not that we know about. But I could tell you this much. Go into one of them all white neighborhoods and see what happened to you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you don't have to sit on the back of the bus, but I'll tell you what, go to certain neighborhoods in Florida and some white dude don't like the way you look and he shoots you, he'll say he stand at his ground and he'll get away with it, whether you armed or not. Okay. Apply for a certain job, you know, a certain type of job, and have a quote unquote black name as famously quoted by the stupid bitch Raven Simone, and see whether you get called for the interview. You know, okay. So let's just cut the shit. As far as Stephen A. Smith go, the dude is just a fourth degree coon. You know how they have a fourth degree black belt? Well, Stephen A. Smith is a fourth degree coon. So I don't know what to say about that dude except don't take that dude seriously. Please don't pay attention to nothing that he says, because it's to the point that you can't take the dude serious because he doesn't believe himself. He's basically being a lapdog and a house nigger for ESPN for $3 million a year. So that's pretty much all I got to say about that. I'm out.